Welcome to Season 11 of the RVMan LP exhibition, and today I'm going to be playing Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks for the PS2. This game stars Liu Kang and Kung Lao in their adventures through Outworld, and of course it's an RPG beat-em-up. So yeah, you'll be beating the crap out of people and getting experience points for it, much like Special Forces and Mythology Sub-Zero. The difference is Shaolin Monks is better than the two. And of course it has co-op. However, I'm going to be playing solo, and I'm going to basically play as Kung Lao because it's much easier solo with Kung Lao.
A battle raged at the end of the first tournament. The forces of Earthrealm were facing their greatest challenge. Mortal Kombat!
Shang Tsung is destroying the island! Get out! We must return to the Wuxi Academy!
What a way to start an adventure! Falling down a hole! And also, PS2 version is going to have more load screens than the Xbox version. Anyway, we start this adventure off in Goro's lair, which is the very first stage in this place. However, it is the last stage in Mortal Kombat 1. Needless to say, falling down a pit is not how you start an adventure.
has been spared, but Shang Tsung is a poor loser. This is Goro's lair. It is one of Shang Tsung's traps. You must find your way off the island before it crumbles into the sea. Make your way to the Wuxi Academy. Pick up the items I've left behind for information.
Okay, Raiden, I trust you. Wait a minute, what's that sound? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Raiden, god of useless!
These beasts are unreal.
Anyway,
Learn to perform quick attacks.
here's the button layout. The X is to jump, the square is for quick attacks, the triangles for launching attacks, the circles for power attacks, the R2 is for throws, and it's also for interaction. The R1 button is for power moves, well, signature moves basically. Even though Kung Lao's dive kicks are his signature, and I'm going to be spamming the hell out of them. That's right, I will be spamming the hell out of Kung Lao's dive kick. Why? Because I've got no shame. That and more combos equals more experience points. And that's exactly all there is to it. The more combos you make, the more experience points you get. God damn it, why'd you block? You should not have blocked, you asshole. Oh wait, there's another one. Should I trust that? No.
You may perform attacks while running.
Yeah, also as he just said, you can perform attacks while running. I mean, there's no point in me actually telling you how the buttons work, because he's more than likely going to do so. Also, I do believe the L1 button is a modifier to some of your attacks. I know it is for the throws. No, wait, no, that's R1, never mind. Yeah, honest. Oh, wait, L2 is to lock on, that's what it is.
Perform your signature special attacks.
Oh, and also, there's how you perform your signature attack. And right now, you have a basic signature attack. I mean, Kung Lao primarily has his dive kicks, which are signature. Well, it's not technically a signature, that's part of his combo. He has his flip throw, which he can climb on the backs of his enemies and pound on their heads until he actually feels like throwing them, which in that case you just press a button. And also, he has his hat throw and he has his teleport, which I do not abuse at all. I don't know why, but I don't.
You can lock on to the nearest enemy. When you are locked on, you
oh, and
incoming attacks
that's
and
oh yeah, I almost forgot.
evades.
L2 is also your block button as well, so you have to perform a block to get through. It will come in handy, though. It definitely will.
Liu Kang, behind you. When multiple enemies surround you, do not concentrate on just one. Attack in different directions to hit them all.
Honestly, we didn't need a cutscene for a tutorial, but that's okay. I was already doing that anyway. So, the whole gist of this is to beat the crap out of enemies. Well, for right now, it's just to beat the crap out of enemies, learn their patterns, and just dominate. Well, the more you kill enemies, the more experience points you get. Also, bear in mind that there are secrets in this game, as you can see up here. You have to get certain means in order to get them. Well, naturally. Sometimes you can just get them just by manipulating glitches in the game or manipulating how high you're launching your enemies.
If you attack while in the air, you can.
And of course, Raiden's a little bit late on the job because that's exactly what I've been doing throughout the entirety of this fight. But also, what Raiden doesn't tell you, you can do air throws, air launchers, and you can also do air power attacks, which I just demonstrated not too long ago. Oh, and anybody's wondering what the L1 button is for? Actually, yes, the L1 button is used. However, we're going to come to that part in just a little bit. I think there's only one other... Oh, wait. Weapons!
Pick up the skulls for combos.
As I told you, weapons are basically interactive stuff. R2 is going to be your button to interact with enemies. Not interact with enemies, but R2 is going to be your button to interact with certain areas that prompts you to use R2, pick up weapons, or pick up key items within the area. Anyway, enough about how to play the game. This is basically a retelling from Kung Lao's perspective of how Mortal Kombat ended up.
The stench of death is over.
And yes, you're fighting Oni. For those of you who are not too familiar with Oni, Oni appear in the Netherrealm. Quan Chi is such Oni.
Up here! Cage! This is the way off the island!
Alright, now it's time to go kick some ass. Ow! Did you just punch me? I will make your life a living hell, buddy! Oh, and Johnny Cage just showed us exactly what to do once we get up to the pit. So, with that said, let's climb up to the pit and be careful about it too, because those spikes, they hurt. They hurt a lot. Oh, in case you're wondering also, the secrets. I probably won't be able to get them all. I might not be able to get them all. In fact, I might just pass through it and focus on the story. Well, except for one thing, the smoke missions. Those are the only ones I'm going to concern myself with. Other than that, the actual secrets themselves, if I get them, I get them. If I don't, well, this is going to be a 100% playthrough. Because you need 2 players for that to happen.
It is another of Shang Tsung's servants.
I do not serve Shang Tsung.
Needless to say, it's a straightforward game. However, don't worry about the fact that Kung Lao constantly reminds everybody that the island is exploding or going to sink. Because guess what? You gotta come back here later on. Smoke mission, as a matter of fact. Which is the only thing I'm going to concern myself with. Why? Because most of the secret tokens that you're trying to find are fatalities. And if you look for them online or in some of the guides and do the fatalities, you don't honestly need to actually go out your way to find some of the fatalities. Oh, yeah, by the way, that's the other thing this game does. You know that L1 button I told you about that performs fatalities? Well, the fact that you perform that stuns people so you can perform fatalities. Well, the only way for you to use that is if you actually unlock it first. So with that said, we now have the ability to perform fatalities. Mortal Kombat Special Forces, you should have had this ability.
You now have the power to execute a fatality.
But that's not the point. The point of the matter is, fatalities instantly kill lesser enemies. And it's also needed to beat certain bosses.
Performing combination attacks builds your ability to execute a fatality.
And as Raiden actually adds, you get fatalities by, you basically get fatality meter by performing really huge combos, which is why I'm doing the spammable combo of dive kicks.
Now hit the enemy with the fatality stunner.
And the only reason why I'm doing that, honestly, you could just ignore that and just keep on grinding for experience points here, because there's going to be never-ending ogres until you perform a fatality. Oh, and mind you, the only experience that you're going to get is for a fatality. And plus however much experience points, not plus, but rather, yeah, that's right, plus whatever sort of experience points the ogre in question, or the enemy in question you perform the fatality on, cost. Like, for instance, these Onis are 50 experience points. And that multiplier I just have is basically 800. It's basically 8 times a certain number of, the multiplier 8 times like 50, or times, let's say you fight a Tarkatan, which is 160. That can rack up to a lot of experience points. So use fatalities frequently. Although I don't, I prefer going a basic route of kicking people's asses and taking their names. Mind you, fatalities are not spammable. You gotta constantly refill the fatality meter every time. Hence the main reason why I constantly do the attacks that I do. But that's not all, folks. There's also certain parts where you'll end up learning brutalities and a new move called Mortalities. Now, brutalities, which debuted in Mortal Kombat 3, are basically like buffs. They are buffs that pretty much allow you to beat the crap out of people, and I'll explain further when I unlock them. And Mortalities, of course, is like killing multiple enemies at one time. And I'll explain that when we unlock that too. Because trust me, we will eventually get to those points. But for right now, my main focus is just to pretty much clear everybody out of this room. And of course, I managed to gain enough to get some new moves. So, let's see, what's the first thing I'm going to get? Oh, I think I know what's the first thing to get. That's kind of a no-brainer. The Hat Ricochet is definitely really good in order to gain a lot of secret items and also do some severe damage to enemies. The ricocheting hat definitely works wonders when it ricochets off of walls and beheads many, many enemies. But we are coming to the end of this episode. In the next episode, we will finish off Goro's Lair and completely do Wuxi Academy. And by God, that is a very long episode, because Wuxi Academy, that's the one thing I have a complaint about this game with, have a save point far and in between. So I really can't stop to take a break like talking about it. Well, that episode anyway, but I'm stopping here. And I will see you guys next time. This is RVMan 985. I'm signing out.